So I did. Jason knocked on my door at 7 the next morning. He still had his little Walmart bag, but he hadn't used anything in it. His face was bruised, and his hands were covered with scratches. He didn't say a word. He just stared at me when I asked him how he was, and walked past me through the living room and down the hall. He closed the door to the hall bathroom with a decisive click. I heard the water running after a second, and I heaved a weary sigh all to myself. Though I'd gone to work and come home tired at about 2 a.m., I hadn't gotten much sleep. By the time Jason emerged, I'd fixed him some bacon and eggs. He sat down at the old kitchen table with an air of pleasure, a man doing a familiar and pleasant thing. But after a second of staring down at the plate, he leaped to his feet and ran back into the bathroom, kicking the door shut behind him. I listened to him throw up, over and over. I stood outside the door helplessly, knowing he wouldn't want me to come in. After a moment, I went back to the kitchen to dump the food into the trash can, ashamed of the waste but utterly unable to force myself to eat. When Jason returned, he said only, "Coffee?" He looked green around the gills, and he walked like he was sore. "Are you okay?" I asked, not sure if he would be able to answer or not. I poured the coffee into a mug. "Yes," he said after a moment, as though he'd had to think about it. "That was the most incredible experience of my life." For a second, I thought he meant throwing up in my bathroom, but that was sure no new experience for Jason. He'd been quite a drinker in his teens, until he'd figured out that there was nothing glamorous or attractive about hanging over a toilet bowl, heaving your guts out. "Shifting?" I said tentatively. He nodded, cradling his coffee mug in his hands. He held his face over the steam rising from the hot, strong blackness. He met my eyes. His own were once again their ordinary blue. "It's the most incredible rush," he said. "Since I was bitten, not born, I don't get to be a true panther like the others." I could hear envy in his voice. "But even what I become is amazing. You feel the magic inside you, and you feel your bones moving around and adapting, and your vision changes. Then you're lower to the ground, and you walk in a whole different way. And as for running, damn, you can run. You can chase." And his voice died away. I would just as soon not know that part anyway. "So it's not so bad?" I asked, my hands clasped together. Jason was all the family I had, except for a cousin who drifted away into the underworld of drugs years before. "It's not so bad," Jason agreed, scraping up a smile to give me. "It's great while you're actually the animal. Everything's so simple. It's when you're back to being human that you start to worry about stuff." He wasn't suicidal. He wasn't even despondent. I wasn't aware I'd been holding my breath until I let it out. Jason was going to be able to live with the hand he'd been dealt. He was going to be okay. The relief was incredible, like I'd removed something jammed painfully between my teeth or shaken a sharp rock out of my shoe. For days, weeks even, I'd been worried, and now that anxiety was gone. That didn't mean Jason's life as a shapeshifter would be worry-free, at least from my point of view. If he married a regular human woman, their kids would be normal. But if he married into the shifter community at Hotshot, I'd have nieces or nephews who turned into animals once a month. At least they would after puberty. That would give them, and their Auntie Sook, some preparation time. Luckily for Jason, he had plenty of vacation days, so he wasn't due at the parish road department. But I had to work tonight. As soon as Jason left in his flashy pickup truck, I crawled back into bed, jeans and all, and in about 5 minutes I was fast asleep. The relief acted as a kind of sedative. When I woke up, it was nearly 3 o'clock and time for me to get ready for my shift at Merlotte's. The sun outside was bright and clear, and the temperature was 52, said my indoor-outdoor thermometer. This isn't too unusual.